Woodward, we are starting off your day with a brand new crew. Meet Broder.
I can't control my arms sometimes. My limbs are just kind of flying.
Detroit Kool-Aid.
Fired up!
Y'all got Kool-Aid.
I'm fired up! But with the Wake Up Woodward crew, he's actually a part of the family.
Flannel Sam.
Ask me about my wiener. Okay.
Along with JB and KG. Wake Up Woodward gets you all of your Detroit sports talk. Every morning, 8 to 10 a.m. Live on Woodward Sports. A show for Detroit, by Detroit, with people from Detroit. Tell Siri to set an alarm, because it's time to Wake Up Woodward.
Let's go! Let's go! Gotta make sure that the desk is set appropriately. Why? It's a Victory Friday show! We didn't even know it, man. We talked about the teams that were playing last night, right? One of them got us a dub. The other one, not so much. But who knew that Michigan was going to be in a position to get us a big win? What up, though, people? Welcome to Wake Up Woodward. We're going to talk about it. It's your boy, Brandon Dick, a.k.a. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. In my threads right now, man. Flannel Sam, the vet of the network, the vet of the squad, Red Wings correspondent, all sports knower, and Michigan lover, huh?
Michigan lover. It was a big night for the University of Michigan. Michigan basketball defeated Tarleton State 72-49.
Let's go! Man, that's what I'm talking about, right?
Obviously, like, there was much bigger news, but it was a lot of.
I'm so pumped up.
There's a lot of we're back energy today. I'll just say that, and it's not just for Michigan. There's another team that got a very important win last night as well. We're actually going to talk about that first before we jump into the even bigger news.
Yes, sir, man. And you know what? Let's talk about those Detroit Red Wings in just a slight second. I want to introduce the crew. We got to talk Pistons just for a minute and then take it away with those Red Wings. Just, man, the universe just can't give us anything. We get Tobias actually giving us something in the fourth. And then we get Cade taken away. Like, what the heck? And so we'll get there. Hey, shout out to our brother Matthew Broder. Keep crushing Woodward and Maine and everything you do to support us as well, man. Always a part of the WUW Crew family. That dude, Justin, for everything you do for the show. Cavassier Chase, what up, though, brother?
Hey, what up?
You look
Well,
like you're
good morning,
over there
everybody. Hope you guys are having a fun Friday. Should be a fun-packed show throughout the day, depending on who you're a fan of. I know E&E should be pretty exciting today, so stay tuned in 2 to 4.
Hey, you know what, man? My endeavor is to make Cavassier Chase, more of a state of Michigan man.
Good luck with that.
Hey, shout out to Detroit's #1 draft pick, that is KG, a.k.a. Black Hollywood in the sound booth. What up, though, brother?
Hey, they can't ruin this for me today. Yeah, you can say what you want. We already go. We're going to go down the checklist of, the Michigan hater checklist, but hey, it's a good day to be a Wolverine. It is. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him. WUW Sports MVP. That's a victory show. Maybe not for you, but still. In the 3 booth, JB Smooth. What up, though, brother?
Jay Bizzle.
I'm not impressed.
That's fine. You ain't got to be.
I'm not impressed. I seen this news coming. I'm like, oh, great. I know what Friday show is going to be. I don't got a squeegee or anything back here.
This is how I'm
but
feeling.
I can tell you right now, like, it's about to be a very big nut bust that's on the show.
You know what, Flannel Sam? I know we're going to get to the Michigan news in the second segment. We also got a lot of Detroit Lions to talk about with the Indianapolis Colts. My question with that, and chat family, you can also answer as well, does this have the makings of a classic trap game? You got the Thanksgiving Day game just ahead with a team that Amon-Ra has probably already got a sweatshirt, already cooked up for the Bears, and then a big game against the Bills. We're going to talk about it. Dan Campbell is one guy that leads me to believe they'll be focused. But,
Absolutely.
Detroit Pistons, they drop a game in overtime. Cade Cunningham wound up getting hurt towards the end of regulation. And did not return. We didn't get an update just yet, so I'm still, waiting to see what's what. But overall, it's like wash, rinse, repeat, another close loss to a team that I wanted to see them go out there and beat, who didn't have one of their best players in Bridges.
It was unfortunate. Tobias had his best game as a Piston. I thought if you would have told me that Tobias would play that well, I would have said double-digit win for the Pistons.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that didn't happen. I hope, and I beg of the Pistons to do this, when you get the Hornets back at LCA, body bag those bums. And I get it. I can't call them bums. That's unfair because the Hornets have beaten the Pistons twice this year. But it's just, you let two slip away against them. It's kind of been the theme of the season. You've closed out some games, the Pistons have, but they've also let some slip away, unfortunately. And they took the L last night. Fortunately for the state of Michigan and for Detroit sports, they were the only one to take the L last night. But for a team that's, I would say, has play-in aspirations now, those are the type of games you can't lose.
You cannot lose those games, man. And there was a player who was continuing to catch increased ire from the Detroit Pistons fan base. That is one Jalen Duren.
Yeah.
And he went invisible for a while, and it looked like JB Bickerstaff course corrected and had him on the bench for a long time. And, you know, I believe that he's a young player. I believe that they need to supplement. I've been saying that for about a year now. You got to get somebody else in here. I do still have some hopes for him because I do believe he's so young and he's just getting to a good staff to develop him. But you want to see a little bit better a lot sooner because Diabate put him just in a body bag last night, bro.
You can't let Moussa Diabate put you in a body bag. That is so unacceptable. I can't even begin to explain. And trust me, I know all about Moussa Diabate. He was a Michigan man. He was a guy who I knew would kind of be very limited offensively, just kind of an effort rebound guy. And yeah, that can't happen.
Tell me you weren't sitting there like, darn it, that's exactly what we need on our team.
Yes. I love Moussa Diabate. I would love Moussa Diabate on the Pistons right now. And I would love Isaiah Stewart to get a growth spurt at like age 25. That's what I would love. But no, your point is well taken that you were one of the loudest voices of they need to supplement get a big man to supplement Jalen Duren, to insulate him a little bit, to kind of give you what Jalen Duren doesn't give you quite yet.
Yeah.
They haven't done it, and unfortunately it's a weak point.
Check this out, because if you were going to say what the Pistons' big three was, there's a couple combinations that will come to mind before the one that popped up on ESPN's list. This is what's crazy. It should be unanimously Cade, Ivy, and Duren.
It should.
It should be. And if you're like, okay, Duren's struggling, then it should be Cade, Ivy, and Tobias. Do you know what it actually is?
What is it?
Cade, Ivy, and Ron Holland. And that was the trio. I was like, you know what? I'm really hoping we see a lot of them together this year. And it's really because of the hustle and the energy that he brings to the court. So shout out to Ron Holland. These Pistons, man, they are 7-10, still in playoff positioning. Not a lot of us would have pegged them to be 7-10 at this position. So they got to turn this one around.
They do, but a team that hopefully started their turnaround last night was the Detroit Red Wings. They needed a win in the worst way. Derek Lalonde probably needed a win for his job, and they got one.
You called it.
And it was, I'll be honest, about halfway through the third period, it was looking really, really rough. I understand that the Red Wings, they had more opportunities. They did outshoot the Islanders, which is very, very rare this season. They did, but they were down 1-0 with 5 minutes left to go in the third period. If you lose that game 1-0, how bad would that look?
And you know
that would look awful, but they didn't.
Yeah, and one of the things we were talking about yesterday, I was wondering, it's like, okay, even though we might be checked out on Derek Lalonde, are the players checked out? That was one of the questions. I was like, all right, let's see how they go out there and perform, because they're going to need to get some extra, they're going to have to pull from some extra source of energy to be able to overcome this kind of bad start, where at one point we were like, this squad is about to be in the playoffs, to now they're like at the bottom of the standings. So to see them be able to pull that game out that way and to fight and to claw to get back, I'm glad to see that these guys are going to play regardless, and that Lalonde does have some way to motivate them.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the defense played one of their better games of the season. I thought Alex Lyon was fantastic, which he's been many times this year, but it was good to see him have a bounce-back game. And towards the end, I love the way that they finished, because the Islanders gave them a bit of an open. His name escapes me right now, but an Islander, I don't know if he was a defenseman or just a player, he was trying to just hit the puck out of trouble, but he just loses his stick. And then it just creates a golden opportunity, a 3-on-1 breakaway that Jonathan Berggren takes himself and puts it in the net to tie the game. And then at the end, when it was 1-1 with about a minute left, you had Dylan Larkin possessing the puck in the offensive zone. He gets it knocked away towards the boards, but he wins the battle at the boards. He gets the puck. He finds a wide open Lucas Raymond, and Lucas Raymond puts it in for a game winner. Lucas Raymond, game-winning goal. How many more times are we going to hear that? That is just... that's sexy. Lucas Raymond, game-winning goal, and a must-win game. And honestly, as down as I've been on the Red Wings, as disappointed as I was in that disastrous West Coast trip, they just started last night a stretch where they play five of their 6 at home. Now 4 of their next 5 at home, already getting that win over the Islanders. That 6-game stretch, I'm going to need 8 points. 8 points minimum. Ideally even more, but 8 points minimum, and you stabilize things a bit. If you get more than that, Derek Lalonde's seat really cools off, for better or for worse.
Yeah, I like the sounds of that, man. I really do, because I want to see these teams achieve all that they can. I feel like this is a unique season where, for the Red Wings, we expected playoffs. For the Pistons, we expected just to see that there was some type of foundation being built there between Trajan, JB Bickerstaff, and whatever they felt like was the core of this team going forward. And instead, we might have an opportunity where all 4 teams make the playoffs in the same calendar season. So that's where it's just like, yeah, if you are there. Because I saw, some people online that were like, hey, we should be a little bit more happy with the fact that the Pistons are 7-10. And it's like, while we can see that they might have exceeded our expectations, one of the things that we've all continued to say, even about them, is let's not judge them based on basically the wheels falling off the bus. This team should have been one that was winning 30 games minimum the last couple seasons. And so seeing them at 7-10 right now, seeing the talent that they have, understanding the money that's on the books, not just this year, but going into next year when Cade's deal goes, and then Tobias is still making $26 million.
Yeah.
You want to see this team taking the necessary strides. And if you can win and hold them to those new expectations.
Yes, and before we talk about the biggest news of the day, Dante151, thank you for the $9.99 super chat. You are the absolute GOAT. The Pistons are so close to winning these close games consistently on a nightly basis. We all have to remember the Pistons were behind by 20 points against the Hornets. For the Pistons to do that is good. And I'll say this, it was a nice comeback. It was looking really bleak at points. You can't be down 20 to the Hornets.
You can't.
Jaden Ivey was so bad at the beginning of the game. This isn't an Ivey hate. He did some nice things in overtime for sure, but he was not good. He was a ghost, and Jalen Duren had his struggles as well, and that's one of the reasons they were down by as much as they were. And even Cade, I'm not going to put too much on Cade, but it wasn't his most efficient night shooting the ball or from 3 either.
There's a difference between breaking down the game to game versus what our overarching feeling is. Overarchingly, I am pro this backcourt. I am pro Jalen Duren. Sure. I am pro Isaiah Stewart. But we're always going to talk about the aspects of the game as well that we think, hey, maybe these are some things that they can clean up, just to be honest to the process. Like, we're not cheerleaders necessarily. We can like the players. We can want them to do good. We can want them to do better. But at the end of the day, if we love basketball, let's also break that bread appropriately too. And one more thing on the top 3, it says ESPN's best big threes in the NBA. I didn't give the ranking. Do you guys know where they're ranked? Does anybody know where Cade, Ivey, and Holland are ranked?
Low?
Top 25. They are
really?
Number 24. That's insane.
With all due respect, I don't think I gave this its proper attention. How's Ron Holland on a big 3?
That's what I said.
With all due respect, he's a young rookie.
I think it's showing what Jalen Duren and Tobias Harris are not doing consistently.
That's the answer.
What I'm saying.
That's the answer.
And the injuries of Asar Thompson. I would believe that Asar would be the one in that spot. But it shows also that Ron Holland was right from day one. Hey, I am coming in to help this team win any way that I can. I went back and I love listening to some of the audio from media days, and that was one thing that JB said as well. He earned his time on the court because he wants to do anything possible to win.
Sure, and if Asar Thompson were healthy, they'd have at least 2 more wins, 100%. But we can't play the if game. They're still 7-10. That's a fine start.
Which is a better if. In the beginning of the season, we would be like, if they started 7-10 in playoff positioning, and then we would get laughed at.
Yeah.
So hey, you know what? You want to know what the best Lions pregame party is? Every single home game, it's at Detroit's very own second best bar. And guess what? This Sunday is a home game. So you know where you want to be at? Oh, no, it's not. No, it's not. I'm sorry. Thanksgiving. And the Bills games, those are home games. So you know where you want to be at?
Well, we're not going to be
Second best.
downtown
For Thanksgiving? Man, well, you know what? The Bills game. That's where you want to be at. That's where the best party is. I love it so much that I'm trying to will it into existence right now. 42 Watson Street, regardless. Second best. You know, people going to be down there regardless anyway. But December 5th, lock that date in. That's when the next pregame party is, and you don't want to miss it. It's the ultimate fan experience. You get to enjoy some smooth Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey while catching Woodward Sports pregame show only at Second Best Bar. Come get some.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Les Stanford Chevrolet is giving away 2 Thanksgiving Day tickets if you've outkicked your coverage. If your significant other is hotter than you, post a picture under the hashtag Woodward Tickets to X or to Instagram. And if the difference between you as the man and your girlfriend or wife as the woman is the most significant, you will win Thanksgiving Day tickets. That's all you got to do. So pro tip, pick the one where you look the worst and your significant other looks the best, and you could win 2 Thanksgiving Day tickets. And hey, Rex Ryan also outkicked his coverage. You probably did too.
The guest that we have is Bryce J. Underwood. How you doing today, Bryce?
Good.
Okay, I just want to really introduce you guys to a young man, a very young man, that's actually going to be something special. What team will you be playing with this year?
I'm going to bring my talent to the Michigan Wolverines.
Sharon Moore Best. What up, dog? Hey, we back. We good? Hey, we are back. It's Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off your day with the WUW Crew. Chat family, as always, you guys are the most important part of this thing. Today, Bryce Underwood is right up there as well. But go ahead and smash that like button to support. We appreciate it, and it helps us out greatly. It's your boy Brendan Dan, KD Trey Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter and writer for the network. Flannel Sam, the vet of the squad, the vet of the network, all sports knower. Go Blue lover. What a day!
What a
Bryce
day.
Underwood flips to Michigan.
He flips to Michigan.
Not just he, though. I mean, well, we covered the other one yesterday.
We did.
This is a nice couple days for University of Michigan football.
Oh, I am on cloud nine right now. It feels like the light at the end of the tunnel for what has been such a disappointing season. Everything that has led up to this point, it is 100% worth it.
Oh.
If go ahead.
Wait, what's that?
What's
that? Oh, I think we got official word. We got something from Bryce Underwood. Woodward Sports on the scene.
Yeah.
Oh, let's hear from Bryce.
It's just
now.
a blessing, honestly. You know, just God. Thank God for all of this. So, yes, sir.
Look at that, man. Shout out to Bryce Underwood, man, those statements. It is a blessing. Bryce Underwood to the University of Michigan. And I saw Sharon Moore ASAP posted that Go Blue. And instantly I was like, you know what? Okay. All right, program builder.
Program builder.
All right.
Yes. And that's what Sharon Moore needed to do, because we know that he's had some struggles this year and this season has not gone well, but because he brought us Bryce Underwood with a nice help from NIL as well, which I love to see Michigan really dive into, which could be really, really nice for the future of the Michigan program. Sharon Moore's job is safe because you got to be able to recruit. You got to be able to bring people here. And he brought the number one effing recruit in the entire nation. Not the number one quarterback, not the number one player in Michigan, the number one recruit in America. Unbelievable. And now, by the way, what did I say? What did I say yesterday? For Sharon Moore to be 100% safe just based off of recruiting, I needed a top 10 class. You know what Michigan's ranking is now? 9.
So now I know that he listens to the show. He was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to show that flannel.
Yes.
I'm going to show that Chase. Hey, shout out to Kool-Aid and KG. JB, you cool, though, even though you a Sparty. That was what, my inner Sharon Moore. And this is one of the best back walls I ever made, dog. I'm so serious. I was sitting there making it. I made like 10 different versions, y'all. I'm a sicko for this stuff. But John F. and Lord said, look at the host table rise on both sides.
Yes, as it should. Because that is the number one thing, obviously, besides like winning games, of course, but just continuing to replenish the roster, continuing to build. And the reality is when you look at this season, you can blame, there are lots of culprits around. Sharon Moore struggled. Kurt Campbell, I don't believe, is a good offensive coordinator. Wink Martindale has done, I would say, a poor job, but really the number one culprit has been they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
Or they didn't.
I feel like
now they do.
And that's the thing, man. If you just got the quarterback position right this year, it doesn't look as bleak.
No, not at all.
In my opinion. I do believe, though, there's a lot more that Sharon Moore has to do to show that he can coach at the college level, to your point, Chase. But I do have some hopes for him just because of who he was prior to this and the belief that Jim Harbaugh had in him. It's not as if he's a guy that they're just picking up off the streets of Detroit who has had some storied career in Michigan, the state of Michigan football. This is a guy who, for whatever reason, Jim Harbaugh saw something in him, trusted him to be the one to lead the charge in his absence last year, and now Sharon Moore has to prove that that was the correct decision. Because regardless of anything that we believe went down between Harbaugh and Warwick Manuel, the kumbaya right now is Sharon Moore. Harbaugh's hand-picked pick and the guy that Warwick Manuel chose to step forward with, and I'm hoping that Sharon Moore understands, at this precipice right now, the importance of going in and getting your positional coaches and your coordinators right.
Get 'em.
Absolutely right. This is important. Do not fail Bryce. Do not fail these. You get a taste this year. This year, because of the lack of the program being built, you're failing some players.
Well, and the funny thing, too, is, yes, obviously there are players who are being failed, but despite everything that's gone on this season with the poor quarterback play, with Kurt Campbell and all of that, there have been a couple of moments, like the Michigan State game, like the Oregon game, where even Davis Warren looked pretty good. Bryce Underwood is 100 times more talented than Davis Warren. Bryce Underwood, when you watch him play, it will look like they're not even playing the same sport. So just bringing him in,
bro,
I think even as a true freshman will make a world of difference because they didn't have a quarterback, and now they do.
At that event, when he walked in, I was at the Jerome Bettis event where we got that video. Ryan Ermanni, that's the one I was telling you guys about. It's crazy that we were just talking about that experience in the Jerome Bettis interview and all that, and how he just got to talk to Bryce. And when he walked in, it was imposing. Ryan and I just kind of both turned around and instantly were like, oh, what up, though? And I'm 6'2". You know what I'm saying? It's cool. And to be around Belleville this year for the Boys and Girls Club events as well, and kind of being around that aura, seeing him show up to things. It's really cool to see this experience right now because it almost feels like we've had a ground level view of this thing coming to pass, and then putting that topic on the show sheet yesterday. It was almost like the perfect alley-oop for what we're talking about today.
He is a man among boys.
Oh yeah,
he's huge. I mean, he's got all the talent in the world, all the athleticism, all the arm talent, and all of that. But he's the prototype in terms of size, 24/7. Because I'll admit, I'm not a sicko for high school football or for like my personal recruiting rankings, so I kind of go off of what is said. They compare him to Vince Young. I'm not saying he's going to be Vince Young, but Vince Young's one of the greatest college quarterbacks of all time. I'll just, or at least that season, the best player to never win a Heisman, for sure.
Yeah, hold on 1 second, KG. One more thing.
Do you think?
No, because I just saw the question in there. Oh, Charles McClain is saying it as well. Do you think Jaden Davis goes into the portal now? And that was something we were talking about. In this era of college football, it wouldn't surprise me. But if Michigan harkens back to their roots, they find a way to make sure, because it's the NIL. Michigan still has, and that's the thing. There are already all of these articles coming out. I saw 3 of them already talking about Michigan is about to wreck college football because nobody can mess with their donor base and the money that they already have. They have the ability to say, you know what? In the old era of college football, we found a way to stock multiple quarterbacks who were NFL quarterbacks eventually. Do they find a way in this NIL era to still do the same? Because that has also been a part of past or previous Michigan success.
I don't know. If I'm Jaden Davis, I don't know if I want to stay. Because Jaden Davis, he's a very talented quarterback in his own right, but he can't hold a candle to Bryce Underwood in terms of talent. And the thing about Jaden Davis, too, and however much this matters, I don't know, but I think it matters some. Jaden Davis, when we talk about man amongst boys, I don't know if you'll ever see them standing next to each other. If you do, Bryce Underwood will look like Jaden Davis's father. And that's no disrespect to Jaden Davis.
That's exactly right. And you know what they have to do instantly? Alex Orji, weapon. Alex Orji, weapon. Get him out of the quarterback position like you have been staying for a long time. You got Bryce coming here. Do you understand what that does for an Alex Orji? If this guy can catch anything, bro, anything, that's just another weapon. We're talking about what this squad needs in terms of wide receivers and such, and I'm not saying he's going to step in and be this dominant guy, but if he's one of those speed and space guys who we already see, if you can scheme up some things for him, I definitely would love to see that. I want to see them be able to take advantage of all the talent they still have on this squad. Show that you can coach up, because Jim Harbaugh was really good at that. Helping players switch positions and taking advantage of their skill sets like that. And that's what I want to see out of Alex Orji, who he's another one of those kind of, when you talk about imposing figures, he's another one of those types of players.
He's another one, just an absolute physical specimen. And I don't know if Alex Orji will matter at all in next year's season, but if you could maybe maximize him, make him like a Taysom Hill or something like that, like a Michigan version of Taysom Hill. Probably not as effective, but I said it, I think, after the Michigan State game. He's an NFL-level athlete. He just can't play quarterback. And at some point, I think for the good of him, he's got to switch positions, because he should make the NFL based on his athleticism, based off his running ability. But I'm not going to say he can't throw a forward pass. He can't throw an accurate forward pass.
Do you think he can run better than this version of Donovan Mitchell?
Edwards?
Donovan Edwards.
Yeah,
I'm like, basketball.
Yeah.
Donovan Edwards.
No. I know Donovan Edwards gets some slings and arrows, but he's been a running back for many, many years.
time.
Alex Orji is more of you're never going to give him 15 carries in a game. But then again, I think with what Bryce Underwood does, and this might have even been the case anyway, Alex Orji might be irrelevant to the future of Michigan.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I'm not going to cry any tears. He did his job. Trust me, I appreciate what he did. He had some big carries even in the college football playoff. He had a big carry against Ohio State last year. He closed down the game against Michigan State this year. He won a couple of starts.
Yeah.
How much of a role he played in that is up for debate this year, but we got bigger and better things.
And that would be a testament to Sharon Moore and where the program would be at if you're in a position to see Jaden Davis and Alex Orji walk out the door. Yeah. What up, though, KG?
No, I mean, this is the business, unfortunately. You know, no offense to Alex Orji or Jaden Davis, but we got what we needed now in this building, man. Those who stay will be champions, man. And shout out to, to Sharon Moore, who, I had on good authority that this was a real possibility, like, when a lot of people thought that it wasn't.
You said it yesterday?
Yeah, and I did. My sources did not fail me, shout out. But, we just needed to see it. And that's why I didn't want to totally get behind it, because it was going to be hard to flip them from LSU, even though we know LSU was a dumpster fire. I mean, Brian Kelly, he has to be on the hot seat.
Speaking of getting fired.
Yeah, seriously, that is crazy to lose a 5-star recruit on top of the season that they already had. But, I mean, this is huge for Michigan. I mean, we're talking 165 touchdowns over 48 starts for Bryce Underwood. Braylon Edwards, he was at the Belleville Catholic Central game last week. He saw him in person. He told me himself he is the truth. Like, he saw everything he needed to see. So this is a real big deal for Michigan. And, people was trying to kill me yesterday, which, if you don't read all the context or hear all the context, I can understand why you would take this out of context. But I said Sharon Moore had the potential to be a better recruiter than Jim Harbaugh was. And if we take a second to really think about that, we love J.J. McCarthy here, right?
Yes.
We all love J.J. McCarthy,
Yes.
probably
Speak
the
for
best
yourself.
quarterback to ever come through the Michigan program.
Yes.
Only he was a 4-star.
Jim Harbaugh said that as well.
Yeah, he was a 4-star recruit. And for a long time with Michigan, we never got the good of the good of the good. We would get pretty good players and try to make do with what we had. But
Rashawn Gary was the #1 overall recruit in the country.
yeah, I understand.
Kind of
I'm
an
not
outlier
saying
for Michigan.
I'm not saying this never happened before, but consistently Michigan that would be the biggest critique on Michigan. Yeah, they get good players, but they don't get the SEC good players. They're only Big Ten good. We would hear that for years and years and years. So I
From
think
Ohio State fans.
Yeah, thank you. So I think this is huge. The reason why I said Sharon had the potential to be a better recruiter is because things are different now. There's a whole philosophy change in Ann Arbor now. They are more willing to update their current model and lean into NIL and actually, do what you need to do in this current climate in order to go get the best talent. And that's what Sharon Moore is doing. From what I've heard, he's been very involved in this process. So for everybody on the Neil Rule checklist, is he going to be here? I'm pretty sure you wouldn't flip a recruit of this man, of this stature without him being involved in the process and knowing that that's going to be his coach going forward. Now, what Sharon does with him from there, that's yet to be seen.
That's
Obviously, there's an X's and O's problem with this team. I don't dispute that at all. But the fact that you were able to get talent in here, you got a left tackle that's a 5-star as well. And this is only the beginning. You get a recruit like Bryce Underwood, you're going to get way more kids that want to come here through the transfer portal. And if you want to, actually institute and help pay for some of these kids to come here, then we can turn this shit around in 1 year. This is what I've been saying the whole time. Go ahead,
Absolutely. And it's not just Bryce Underwood. It's the symbolism as well, if that makes sense. If they're willing to do all of that for Bryce Underwood, I have no doubt that they're going to be willing to do more in the transfer portal to help next year and the year after to provide Bryce Underwood with the best roster around him. And as you said, it's not just Bryce Underwood. It's that 5-star offensive tackle, Andrew Babalola. And when you look at the Michigan National Championship team, they had a great quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, best in school history up to that point. Now they have their Bryce Underwood. Their offensive line was really the engine of that team during their entire stretch of 2021 to 2023. This year, obviously, everybody left and it hasn't looked so great. So they go and get the second highest ranked offensive tackle in the entire country. They're losing a tight end in Colston Loveland. They got one in Andrew Olesh. They're losing Will Johnson. They're getting one in Shamari Earls. They need a wide receiver. They got one in Andrew Marsh. And I'm using these names because these are the top 100 recruits that Michigan has. 5 of them, by the way. And I'm not saying that all of them are going to pan out. It's just you're starting to see what they're trying to build. Yeah. And we haven't even gotten to the transfer portal yet because I think they will be very active.
What can help wide receivers, questionable wide receivers pan out?
What's
great
that?
quarterback.
Great quarterback.
Yes. And Mason Leach said Michigan's height at wide receiver in the 2025 class is crazy. He said, Kool-Aid, please read off my 2025 wide receiver comment. It's crazy who we have at wide receiver in the 2025 class. The height is crazy. Plus, we have 4-star tight end Andrew Olesh, who is 6'5" as well. And that's why yesterday it's like, okay, we do this thing where, yes, we will definitely criticize in the moment, whether that's positively, negatively, or all of the above, but we still, at the very least, wanted to be able to see Sherrone Moore through at least. I believe you give him exactly what you gave Rich Rod, Brady, Hoke, Jim Harbaugh. You give them the opportunity to build a program. And in the NIL era, don't put them at a disadvantage by saying, well, now you're going to compete against everybody who is openly buying players. This is the disadvantage that they had Sherrone Moore at in terms of program building. So now the one thing we've known is this. Throughout the years, it's been Michigan's kind of athletic department around Michigan football has been splintered. It hasn't necessarily been the kumbayas throughout the years. Even with Jim Harbaugh, we heard kind of some of the dysfunction between he and maybe Warde Manuel. Right now, though, this to me signals that there's a lot more alignment going on right now, and it's now on Sherrone Moore to prove. They're saying, okay, we're making the investment. We're making the change. We're doing things that we haven't done prior. We're stepping into this era. Sherrone Moore cannot have a letdown here. He cannot. You get in your time.
Not at all.
And this type of a recruit definitely buys you your opportunities. But you have to hit this one out the park from here. And it starts, in my opinion, like you guys have stated, with those coordinators. Because the play calling on both sides of the ball, it just with the athletes, with the talent that you had on both sides. We're not saying that this was national championship talent. They have been underperforming from a play calling and from just a scheme standpoint.
This is the offseason where I think you get new coordinators, where you have to, where there's no excuses. And I'm not saying at all either that it's a guarantee that Bryce Underwood is going to be a superstar as a freshman, but I do think he's going to be a superstar at some point. I do believe he's a Heisman candidate at some point in his career, and I believe he ends his career as a first-round draft pick. I do. Yeah. I really do. So with all of that, you got to make sure you build the right team around him. You give him the right coordinators. You are active in the transfer portal. And because this season, it's been awful. And there are all kinds of questions you could have about Sherrone Moore. But as I said, this is the offseason where you give him every single thing he needs offensively. You give him a quarterback, which he helped recruit, some better coordinators because Kirk Campbell did not work out at all. They got some, as I said, some nice, like a tight end recruit, a wide receiver recruit, a young running back, and a Jordan Marshall, an offensive line recruit. Use that to your advantage because if you want to write this year off as it was more Davis Warren's fault than Sherrone Moore, I can't kill you for that. Although Sherrone Moore has some culpability in that as well. Now is the time. Now that Sherrone Moore has proven his mettle in recruiting, now that Michigan has shown themselves to be active in the NIL, to really make moves going forward and get back to the top.
Yeah. I love Detroit Diver, man. Shout out to him. We've met him a couple times. I know he's a big supporter of us. He says, though, props to Michigan for acknowledging that their brand isn't worth much anymore.
Here we go.
After they just won a national championship on the strength of their brand with players that people say were overrated, right? I was told that J.J. McCarthy was overrated.
After we couldn't get a quarterback, Neil yesterday, can you guys get a quarterback? Oh, it's okay to get a quarterback.
I love you.
Yes, it's okay to get a quarterback. But for all
one of my favorite Red Wings people.
No, for sure. But for all the Sherrone Moore detractors, we gonna see. Because trust me, his legacy is tied to Bryce Underwood at this point. They are going to have significant expectations starting this next very year going into 2025. You're expected to not only make the playoffs, you're expected to be competing for a national championship again.
Hold on, Brad Holmes, or stop trying to get me fired up, man. I'm already fired up.
Go ahead,
the
JB.
dream of this, Bryce Underwood will wear Honolulu blue in about 5 years.
I mean, that would be nice.
Go ahead, JB.
So I just got a question for you guys and probably all the Michigan fans that are in the chat right now. And this is a serious question. You guys are 5-5. You need another win to get into a bowl game. Are you cool with this season just being a wash and waiting to start over until next year?
It's already a wash, JB.
You got 2 more games left. Are you telling me you can't win one of these 2 games to get into a bowl and at least, have something of pride to take into next season?
I want to see this team fight.
Yes. Yeah,
I want to see this team fight for everything.
Michigan's going to body bag Northwestern. I promise you guys. I promise. Ohio State, that might be a different story. Yeah. But they're going to murder Northwestern. And I'm not – it's weird because obviously you might say, how do you have a right to say that Michigan is going to murder anybody? I get it. They're so much more talented. They have the wind at their backs now. They're coming off a bye week. They're at home. Northwestern is awful. Beat the F out of it. I was going to say the word.
And JB, this season, it really doesn't. Of course, you want them to get in the bowl game and get those extra practices and stuff of that nature. But ultimately, this season was already a wash. This season is irrelevant now. It's all about 2025 and beyond, because that is where the real expectations are going to be for this team going forward.
There's a timeline where Jaden Davis just says F it and burns the red shirt against Ohio State.
Hey, might as well. And
Tell me he wouldn't be a legend.
Well, you're allowed to play 4 games.
I
don't know what it's for. I mean, you could get some tape out there, but I don't know what that's for.
He's allowed to play 4 games. He wouldn't even have to burn his red shirt.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Chase is right. You can play like.
What is it for? Bro, you're a legend if you go ahead and get Ryan Day fired.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That would be epic. You want to talk about things to play for? If I get a bowl and we beat Ohio State and we got Bryce Underwood, I'm taking that to the bank.
I hear you. Lofty goals.
Yes, and can I just like respond to one thing before we go to break?
Flannel,
I'm trying not to take the low hanging fruit, but Dabber, you're the reason that I hate Michigan State fans. Why are you talking? Like, why are you talking? Why are you trying to come in here and claim any sort of victory or authority? Michigan State is a poverty program right now. Poverty.
Poverty.
Right now.
Destitute on the street.
JB,
drinking 40s on the corner, begging for change. That's what Michigan State is right now.
JB's over there getting hit with strays.
Yeah. and this isn't at JB because
nothing wrong with 40s. Like, come on.
That's fair, but you don't want to be drinking them on a corner with no home.
You're right.
And your recruiting class ranking right now for 2025, despite getting your Messiah Jonathan Smith, is, let me go down the list. Still going. Still going. 58th. 58th.
That's what I told you, man.
Shut up.
The Michigan hater checklist.
Shut up.
Listen
Shut
to
up,
him, bro. Look.
Shut up. Just take your lumps.
40s on the corner? No. 40s on the porch of your big house? Yes.
You have not been to a bowl game since 2021, and you're going to lose to Rutgers. And you're not going to make one this year.
It's the checklist.
Stop talking. I shouldn't even given you my breath, but I just Michigan State fans, sometimes I wish I could banish them to an island. They're the worst people on planet Earth. Not you, JB, and not like people like Spencer Raxter, but definitely the worst fan base I know. They claim victory when there's none to take.
Listen,
you wish you had Bryce Underwood.
I know we have to get to the next
Bryce Underwood at home.
So don't look at the chat.
Aiden Childs.
So don't look in the chat and read no rules comment yet. All right, where we going? Where we going, JB? Hurry up. He's searching for it.
It's over to me for New Holland. So
get us out of here.
I got to tell you guys about that intergalactic haze.
We're going to get with Neil later. Don't worry about it.
From New Holland Brewing Company, straight out of New Holland, Michigan. That Tangerine Space Machine, the new easy drinking IPA. It's smooth, it's juicy with refreshing crushability. Take your taste buds to the moon with this intergalactic haze of goodness. And I don't know if you guys know this, but this is the official beer of outer space. It's on tap on the moon right now, which you never know. Sharon Moore could get punted to the moon next year if things don't work out. Just saying. Gotta throw that in there. New Holland Brewing Company. Go and grab yourself a case of this intergalactic haze of goodness today.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Hey, Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. They have 50-plus Metro Detroit locations. If you want to get in shape for the cheap, you should definitely go to Planet Fitness, or you can upgrade to the Black Card, where you can get more of the amenities and go to any Planet Fitness across the United States. It's the best gym around, not just the best value gym, the best gym, period. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
What up, though, people? We are back. It is Wake Up Woodward, and it's time to get into breaking down the Detroit Lions versus the Indianapolis Colts game. Is it a classic trap game? You got the Thanksgiving Day game on a short week just ahead, and obviously it's against your rival. You got the Bills game as well, which is another big narrative game for many reasons. Top teams battling it out, MVP candidates battling it out as well, and sometimes these types of games can slip through the cracks. But Dan Campbell is the type of coach, I don't think that we're going to have those types of worries or issues or concerns with, are they going to be up to the task? We saw this team literally take the Jaguars and toss them. We saw them take the Cowboys and have no care for concern or mercy at all for their football lives. We saw them go and just drub teams, and they have no cares. And then they talk about it pompously after. Like Kirby, like, what?
Yeah.
What? BTA,
sure.
You show up not ready to win, we are kicking y'all tails.
Absolutely. And before I get into the Lions, let me just I'm taking the bait again from a Neil rule because I'm going to respond to this respectfully. And this time, Neil, use these, not this, not these.
Oh.
Season starts. Okay. Michigan will go 11-1. Michigan goes 6-6. The season was always going to be a wash. This is where I think it was just a misinterpretation of words. Nobody said at the beginning of the year that 6-6 was going to be okay. JB posed the question while Michigan's already 5-5. When they're already 5-5, the season is a wash.
It's been a wash.
It wasn't from the beginning of the season. It was once it got away. If you think the word wash is a little bit making excuses, I've said it before. Disaster. I said it at the beginning. It's been a terrible season that has the ultimate light at the end of the tunnel, which is getting the #1 recruit in the country. Obviously a terrible season, obviously a failure. But as of right now, 5-5, I mean, what more could we want? I mean, 7-5 would be great.
Right.
6-6 is more likely. It is what it is. But obviously a failure. But to go to the Lions and a trap game and all of that. No. The reality is that the Indianapolis Colts, they're not the Titans. They're not the Jaguars. It is a road game. The Colts have a lot of talented players. They're 5-6. I think the Lions will take this game extremely seriously, and I think they'll win. But I also think they will be challenged in a way that some people might be surprised about. I think they're going to win this game, not to give my prediction away, by, I don't know, something like 10-14, because they've got some nice, I mean, the Colts have some nice players. They've got a really nice guard duo with Fries and Quentin Nelson. And Quentin Nelson is probably going to be wearing a gold jacket someday. I know he's fallen off since the beginning of his career, where he was a 3-time first-team All-Pro in his first 3 seasons. But he's still a Pro Bowler. He's having his best year in a while, and that's where it's going to be a big challenge for that defensive line. I think with that Colts offensive line, they're going to want to get Jonathan Taylor going, who's still a really good back. And that's where the Lions have to use one of the best run defenses in the country to limit him and maybe even do a Joe Mixon on him.
Yep, and now they're doing it with, I think I saw a stat, they've lost like half of their defensive starters since training camp. And they've still found a way to just hum along, but now they have to do that without Alex Anzalone. And when you're talking about a quarterback like AR, who's mobile, when you talk about Jonathan Taylor in the backfield, when you talk about how the offensive line can help to get these guys either protection or get them into the middle of the field, that's where these linebackers, particularly Jack Campbell, is going to have to step up and be that guy that Dan Campbell talked about in the beginning of the season, the green dot linebacker, the leader. He is the team lead in terms of tackles, but we all know what Alex Anzalone brought to the field in terms of a physicality standpoint, playing completely through the whistles, annoying the heck out of players on the opposing team, and just being that guy that every time you see him around, it's havoc. And that's what the linebackers, that's what I'm hoping that they do. A guy who reminds me a lot of that to a lesser degree, Malcolm Rodriguez. Just one of those havoc guys. He can get into the backfield and get you some QB hits. He can get you even interceptions. He can drop back into coverage and play that well. So it's like I want to see our linebackers really have a good game this week against the Indianapolis Colts.
And I think they will. I mean, they're going to be instrumental in stopping Jonathan Taylor. They're going to be instrumental in not letting Anthony Richardson beat you with his legs. Because honestly, I said that it was going to be a close game. If they don't let Anthony Richardson kill you with his legs at all, it could actually get ugly. Because
and AR hero ball. You got to watch out for that.
AR hero ball, because I will say this, and usually I don't like to do this, but I know what my eyes tell me. Anthony Richardson stinks. He can't play quarterback.
He's not
he cannot
developed.
play quarterback. I knew what he was coming out of college. Me and Chase have had conversations about it. He wasn't good in college. He couldn't complete passes in college. He could throw the deep ball, but he didn't know how to play quarterback. He didn't know how to make reads. He didn't know how to run an offense. He didn't know how to hit the easy passes, and he's been the exact same in the NFL. I get it. He had a really good game against the Jets, and the Jets, even though they're the Jets, they have a lot of good defensive players. But this Lions defense against Anthony Richardson, I think if they make him one-dimensional, it could get ugly. And that could actually lead to maybe the 20-plus point win.
And we've seen that precedence already this season. Multiple quarterbacks that can get loose, get mobile. You're talking about Geno Smith. You're talking about Kyler Murray. As well as some others who they might not be considered mobile quarterbacks, but they're not stationary pylons either, who can move the chains if necessary. And Aaron Glenn has had a solution and an answer for all of them, which has been the awesome thing this year to see not just the growth of this defense, but how they're able to maintain with the mix of depth and what Aaron Glenn, Terrell Williams, Kelvin Shepard, and co. have consistently done to get this team fired up and ready every single week. And that's where I'm like, you know what? I'm looking forward to what this team is going to bring, because you know what I realized most of these teams aren't ready for when they lined up against the Lions? It's not necessarily just the strategy. It's not necessarily just the schemes. They are not ready for the level of physicality, level of man ball that the Detroit Lions are bringing to the field. And I think it absolutely frustrates people. That's why we hear them complaining literally on the field. It's a playoff game, Stafford. Go to your sideline and get your guys riled up. Why are you riling us up while we whipping your tail? But that's the thing. When you see grown men just crying about a situation, it's because they are completely disheveled and they don't know how to solve it. That's the thing. And so I am expecting the Detroit Lions defense to come in here, regardless of anything scheme-wise, regardless of anybody who needs to step up or not, continue to lead the charge as it relates to the physicality and playing completely to the whistle on the field.
And you know they will. Because that's the one thing that you know you're going to get with the Lions no matter what, is you're going to have some bumps and bruises afterwards. And you're definitely going to, but for the most part, you're going to take L's no matter if the Lions play their A game or they play their C- game. They're going to beat you damn near every single time. If there's one sneaky matchup, I think
you will find it. I know that.
Yes, where if I'm the Colts, I'm trying to exploit. I'm going to ask you guys a trivia question. Who leads the NFL in yards per catch this season? Does anybody know?
Can you give us like a AFC, NFC?
AFC.
AFC? Can you give us a division?
Just J-Mo, just
AFC South.
AFC South.
AFC South.
Josh Downs?
Nah.
Can't be Josh Downs.
Yeah, that's not the
Calvin Ridley?
Want one more guess? Or you want me to tell you?
Hold on.
One more guess.
Tank Dell.
Do you want one more?
Michael Pittman, maybe.
It's Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce of the Indianapolis Colts. And it surprises you when you see it. But the reason that I bring that up, he actually has more yards per catch than J-Mo. Because if you would have asked me before, I would have looked it up, I would have said Jamison Williams. But it's actually Alec Pierce. Jamison Williams is 22.4. Alec Pierce is 22.7. If I'm the Colts, because Anthony Richardson can throw a good deep ball. That's one thing that he does do well. He has one of the strongest arms we've ever seen from a human being. If I'm the Colts and I get Alec Pierce matched up on Terrion Arnold, I'm taking a shot. Because Terrion Arnold, he's the weak link of the secondary right now. He's a up-and-coming rookie, but he's still the weak link. And he also has a propensity to commit pass interferences. And even if sometimes they're a little ticky-tack, He's a rookie. He's going to get called for it. So if I'm the Colts, I think you're foolish if you don't take a deep shot. Just have Alec Pierce run a go route and just bomb it if you're Anthony Richardson and see what you can do.
And that's where I'm hoping that, this is another one of those games where Aaron Glenn's fingerprints are all over it. You talked about it earlier, the fact that, Anthony Richardson sometimes will have a hard time or a difficult time reading coverages. And that's where maybe the coverage looks like Terran Arnold is lined up man to man.
I like that.
Some of the best safeties
I like that
in the league, and I believe. I saw somebody else in the chat. They think it's going to be 3 interceptions. I was believing that they can get 2 interceptions in this game against AR. But it depends on what, obviously the pressure up front. Shout out to Zadarius Smith. We get to see another game of him. And then, like I said, that's why I was focusing on those linebackers as well. What they do to be able to keep that running game in check as well as the middle of that defensive line, I believe is going to play a big role in what obviously the secondary is able to do to create some turnovers.
And that's a great point you bring up because Jordan Lionheart, he tags me. They might not have time for a deep shot. McNeil is going to eat. I believe so. They've got a tough matchup because the strength of the Colts offensive line is their guards. And Anthony Richardson, he can buy time. He can scramble and let one loose. But if Ali McNeil can get some push up the middle, helped by DJ Reader, supplemented by Levi O, and then you've got Zadarius Smith from the outside, there may be nowhere for Anthony Richardson to scramble to.
I kind of want them to force them to be a throwing team in this game. Like I want them
it's
to.
going to happen.
Put them down early.
Who runs the ball on
It's
that?
just stuff the run and then dare them. Hey, you want to go and try and pick on Terran Arnold? Because I like the way that you put your assessment of TA. He is the weakest link, not because he is a bad player, but because by the strategy and by every team that's going to line up against the Lions, the strategy every single week is going to be attack the rookie. That means that he's going to be under so much duress and pressure that even a vet, if they were under the same thing, they would have some of the same types of either penalties or mistakes. When you have that many attempts against you, I'm surprised that he has not made more mistakes. I think that he's handled it very, very well, and this is where I believe Aaron Glenn is going to really put him in a good position.
Yes, and when I made that comment, everything you said is right. It's also pro Carlton Davis, pro Kirby Joseph, pro Brian Branch, because they've all been so good. 2 of them are going to be all pros. Carlton Davis might be a Pro Bowler. But you said something as well, disguising coverages, because nobody knows more about what Alec Pierce can do than Aaron Glenn.
Yeah.
Nobody does. I'm not telling Aaron Glenn anything. and Aaron Glenn also knows that if the Colts want to stay in this game, they probably are going to have to hit a deep one. They're probably going to have to draw a PI. Anthony Richardson, he doesn't do a lot well playing quarterback, but he can throw that deep ball. I don't know if you guys remember.
That AR hero ball.
One of the most impressive passes of the season was that deep shot to Alec Pierce in Week 1 against Houston. But that's also what you get with Anthony Richardson is a 49% completion percentage, which is unplayably bad, and a touchdown to interception ratio of 5-7. All Anthony Richardson has is hero ball and scrambling. And I don't think, unless there actually are one-on-one matchups with Alec Pierce and Terrion Arnold that they exploit, I think they'll be able to hold AR-15 in relative check.
Ryan's Lion says, by the time AR throws to Pierce, he will be covered by Kirby or Branch. Hashtag not worried.
Yeah,
hashtag FTC.
Absolutely. All right, everyone gets it. No, as they should, because the opponent is always the enemy. But to just go back, there's no trap game. The Colts honestly, and the fact that it's at Indy, probably a little bit too worthy of an opponent with too many good players to be a trap game.
Yeah.
What up, though, JB Smooth? Talk to me about this.
No,
the Lions defense versus the Colts offense.
I don't think this is a trap game. Honestly, like I said, this Lions team mentality, I just think they believe, and we all believe, that they can go in there and beat anyone. Like, no game will be considered a trap game anymore because of the confidence that this team has. And as our chat member said as well, too, by the time AR drops back and attempts to throw to Alex Pierce, like, someone is already going to be on him. Like, we know where the ball is going. And, come on, our run-stopping defense as it is right now, you could try to get Jonathan Taylor working as much as you want, but I don't think it's going to happen for you. Like, it's going to be a rough day for everyone out there for Indy.
Yeah, Jordan Lionheart, I think TA gets his first career pick on Sunday. And
we keep calling
You've been a Terry.
I know, we keep calling it, man.
We keep calling it every week we're going to, but this has to be one of those ones that gives them a really good opportunity. The previous weeks, it was against some quarterbacks who we were hoping, but against Anthony Richardson, and the fact that they're going to probably take their shots. He's going to have opportunity.
Yeah, he will. And I won't guarantee a TA interception, but I can guarantee that he will be there in coverage with Alec Pierce a majority of the game. Like, you really don't see this kid get beat badly, especially when it comes to playing receivers deep. But I think you was on point, Kool-Aid, when you said disguising coverages. That is what the Lions do. That is what AG has been good at. If you look at some of Brian Branch's...
Hey, break it down for us.
Yeah, if you're looking at some of Brian Branch's and some of Kirby Joseph's interceptions, especially in the red zone this year, it came from, okay, they're showing blitz, or okay, they're showing zone, and then psych, I'm dropping back into man coverage and I'm covering somebody over the top. And we've seen them be able to pick off passes like that. So I think you're going to see a lot of that in this game. To Sam's point, AR5 does not read defenses very well, especially if you get to pressuring them, which I know they have an advantage at the guard spot, but their tackle spot is very vulnerable. And you have a Zadarius Smith, you have a Josh Paschal that are going to be able to get out on the edges. They're not going to be able to run the football. As good as Jonathan Taylor is, he can't run the football, especially inside on this Lions front four. So once this turns into a one-dimensional game, like it will, you can expect that Lions defensive coverage to be even more stout, and they will go out there and get some takeaways.
Man, I like the sound of that as well, man. I love it. And you know what? In the next segment, if we can just still talk about the defense a little bit more, maybe put out some expectations for that defensive lines, Darius Smith, Aleem, and such. But Chase, just your overall thoughts on Lions defense versus the Colts offense.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much you guys haven't already hit on. I mean, it's going to be, the interior of our offensive line, or their offensive line and our defensive line kind of going head to head. I think that we have plenty of playmakers in the secondary just throughout this whole defense, even with the injuries to Hutch, with Anzalone, that, I mean, we've seen him scheme up anything and everything to fill up and make up for any losses that we've had. So, I mean, defensively, I don't see how you can honestly line up with Anthony Richardson under center and feel any type of fear as a defender.
No, it's real. We got to be real about it.
That's what we ask everybody. That's why I love this crew. Because even though everything can be stated by one of us, there's still a little bit of flavor that each of you guys provide. And this is our Friday show. This is our pep rally show. This is the last show before the game. So it's like, get me fired up, man. I love the comments. Let's get to this next segment so we can give some expectation for the defense against the Colts as well.
Absolutely. And one thing that I wanted to point out before we went to break, and this is from Just a Fan, Terrion Arnold is actually questionable. I did not know that until right now. I didn't even know that he had any sort of –
didn't know that.
He was hurt at all, but – we shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see. He was a
if he practices today, it's a good
he was
chance.
A limited participant yesterday.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure he's on track, but we'll see.
I hope so. But what you always should tap into no matter what is Woodward and Main and the pregame show. Hey, Detroit, on game day, wake up with Woodward and Main, your source for all the insider information on the defending NFC North champions, your Detroit Lions, with insight from Detroit sports media legend Terry Foster and rising star Matt Roeder. Get ready, Detroit, every Sunday, 8 to 9 a.m. Woodward and Main, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller Your Local Long Drink, Sabbath Coffee, and Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. And then you got to go to the pregame show hosted by these extraordinary gentlemen right here. That is not Neil Rule's rule last night. He was actually punching air.
Michigan is Auburn.
It's the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show. Every game day, Neil Rule and Sean Belegian bring you the best Lions pregame show. Sunday, 10 a.m. to noon on Woodward Sports.
The season's a wash.
Live at Second Best Bar in Detroit. The latest injury reports, fantasy sit and starts, and the inside scoop on your Detroit Lions. Join us for every Sunday home games live at Second Best Bar in Detroit, your official guide to Lions game day. On Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports, brought to you by Tangerine Space Machine, Taller Your Local Long Drink, Sabbath Coffee, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, and Les Stanford Chevrolet.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Gloves Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full-line merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. A ton of sports and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, or other family law issues, Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. With 10 plus years of experience and 24/7 availability, scan the QR code on the screen or call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you and KDK will pay your filing fee. KDK Law, they've got your back.
Hey, you guys already know KDK Law got your back. Wake Up Woodward Sports has your back. We're hoping that you guys have our back, all right? So you gotta have to go ahead, smash that like button, share the stream as well. Run it up if you're a Michigan fan. Run it up if you're a Lions fan as well as we get back into this coverage. But first, go ahead and satisfy that like button, man.
Hey.
You gotta treat it right. Hit it nice.
You do.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, what's up, people? You know it's Friday. We feeling good. You know, we doing shit that people said we couldn't do. So just go ahead and pull your phone out and plug that charger in real nice and real slow. Don't blow your load too much now.
Shout out Bryce Underwood, man. Shout out Sharon Moore.
Oh, did somebody say Big Musket?
Big Musket.
Bang! Love going bang, bang, bang.
Hey,
Man,
dog, that's goated,
you're a
bro.
wizard.
That is goated.
JB Smooth. MVP. I gotta see that one more time, dog.
My love going bang, bang, bang.
We gotta go back and clip this episode when he did that. Oh my gosh, dog.
Man.
That is epic, man. I love that. I love that, man. That's getting me fired up as we get right back into this Detroit Lions conversation, because I used to wonder when I saw some of those teams in the past that would just run roughshod over the league and get into the playoffs, and we were like, man, I wonder how it feels to be there. Like, are they bored? You know, like, but no, you see Dan Campbell, you talking about master motivator, having this team ready every week. It doesn't matter. It's literally what he said. It doesn't matter if you're a great team or if you have, 3 toes and 1 butt cheek. He literally has his team beating everybody's tail.
Ass.
There you go.
Yes.
It's like, so in this game here, I'm looking forward to what some of the individual players are going to do. I believe the Lions are going to absolutely dominate, but I do want to see some players have some good games and continue to put good things on film and have, as we progress into a juggernaut of our schedule, be able to put some good things out there against the Indianapolis Colts. Zadarius Smith, you expecting a big game from him?
I am, because if you're ranking every player from the Colts offensive line, or the Colts tackles and the Lions edge rushers, Zadarius Smith would rank number 1 with a wide gap between the rest of them. The Colts tackles are not the strength of their offensive line, and Zadarius Smith, he's a damn good player. He's the one who the Lions brought in to fill the Aiden Hutchinson void, who got a half a sack in his first game, who I think will be somebody who provides more consistent pressure than anybody else that they have. I think it's a big game for Zadarius Smith. You know who I also have a big game for as well?
To me.
Kirby Joseph gets his 8th pick.
Ooh.
Guaranteed.
Ooh.
Kirby Joseph gets his 8th pick of the season.
Damn right.
I'm on my Spencer Raxter grind right now. Kirby Joseph gets his 8th pick of the season because Anthony Richardson is going to throw one up for grabs. And nobody plays center field, nobody ball hawks in the NFL better than Kirby Joseph. And I think it's going to be on a deep ball.
Yeah, I 100%. It's like, that's one of the bets that I believe people should place every single week, is that Kirby Joseph is going to get an interception. The way that this guy's continued to go out there, I'm not surprised anymore. I'm not shocked. I'm just like, when he does it, when I see the ball get chucked into the secondary, I'm surprised when he's not around the play. Like, and so that's the impact he's had, and it's amazing that he's able to put up those type of stats when you have another absolute juggernaut in your backfield in Brian Branch. Like, who I'm expecting go out there and absolutely dominate. You talk about a guy who wants to make sure that physically the other team understands, don't come near my way. I believe that they do. As a game wears down, we talk about the punishment they can put on the quarterbacks. What these linebackers and safeties are doing to wide receivers, I do believe, even before the game is played now, you better watch out. How, if you are a wide receiver, how do you prepare and not take into account that you have some some just missiles back there in the secondary, and then you also got the team lead in tackles in Jack Campbell. That's where I'm like, you know what, this defense could have a day. We talk about the offense having a lot of mouths to feed, but they're doing it. I think this is a game where the defense has a lot of mouths fed,
especially. I mean, I specifically brought up the secondary. I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Branch gets one, and maybe Brian Branch has another big hit. I mean, I hate to harken back to it again, but Evan Ingram's a big dude.
He is.
And Brian Branch sent him to space.
With a New Holland.
With a New Holland. I mean, he might as well enjoy
Space
something
machine.
on the way to space. But the point is that he wasn't some 5'9" slot receiver. It's Evan Ingram, and Brian Branch murdered him. And Brian Branch, he's another one. He's got 4 interceptions himself. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets one. I think, honestly, the key to this defense, and I don't think that they'll have any problem doing it, is stop Jonathan Taylor and don't let Anthony Richardson get those like big third down scrambles. If you do that, you'll win comfortably.
Jordan Lionheart, and you guys give me your player on defense, and whether it's your X Factor or your MVP on defense, chat family, and what big play you think is going to happen. And Jordan Lionheart believes a Darius Smith strip sack. That would be beautiful.
You know what? I've got a stat for you guys, and it's not just about Anthony Richardson and the fact that he's reckless and throws a lot of interceptions. It's the fact that the Colts have committed the 4th most turnovers in the NFL this season. The 4th most.
There it is.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
That sounds very opportunistic for this Lions defense.
And who's got the most interceptions? Kirby Joseph. Who's got, I think, tied for 4th? Brian Branch.
It's only logic.
It's only logic.
At this point.
Who just had his first couple of the season against the Texans? Carlton Davis.
I'm pumped up, man. And you know what? I got to go to our booth as well as, we'll start with Cavassier Chase. If you're good, just who's your defensive MVP, man?
Of the game or the
game?
Kirby.
Yeah,
I'm hoping like he can end up locking up the decoy. So I think he's got the best case for it. So just hoping like he can just continue to write his name in history, be the 5th safety to ever win the award.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. What up, W?
I mean, you got to say either Kirby or Brian Branch. Interchange them how you want to. They essentially are the same corner. They both are dominant at what they do. And you can see them making an impact in this game. But I don't know why I got a sneaking suspicion that the linebacker playing this game. Yep. Yeah, I see you looking. Yep. I have a sneaking suspicion because, we all know how they going to look without Alex Anzalone. I think this team will be fine. Look for Jack Campbell to get a sack in this game. I feel like they will bring the pressure to AR5, and they going to get to him, man. I really feel like he will get a sack in this game, and maybe even a Rodrigo interception.
I'm salty. Says Jack Campbell will be the MVP. 2 sacks and an interception. That would be insane.
That's aggressive. But I would love it to happen. I would love it to happen. That's aggressive.
That's aggressive. I would love
You're
it.
defensive player of the week if you do that.
Yeah, for real.
JB, who's your defensive player for this game, man?
I mean, I think unanimously, hands down, it's got to be Kirby. Like, come on.
Big Kirby.
Once again, Kirby's going to sit out here, get another pick, and as Chase said, continue on that race for defensive player of the year, which I honestly think he could get at this point if these interceptions just keep coming his way every single game. Like, this is an easy get for me. So, hey, I'm placing that bet right now.
Place that bet. We got to break down this offense as well, the Detroit Lions offense versus the Colts defense. Give you our final score predictions as well as you guys' favorite segment, What's Trending. Get those mailbag questions in now. Start getting them in. We'll make sure that the crew is keeping an eye out for them. And also, you have to walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. It's open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a $20 haircut special, a scalp massage, a hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment while you're wearing your leather chaps.
Oh.
Hey, listen.
You wearing them in public?
Hey, that sounds like Mike Tyson.
Hey, listen.
Just don't care,
What
huh?
about talented hairstylists? They can hook you up with the $20 haircut special. But first, you got to scan the QR code. It's somewhere on the screen. Just look for it. You'll probably find it before I do. When you do, you get that coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. It's wicked awesome.
My man rocking chaps to the haircut.
You're an ugly guy. That's Okay, because you have a hot girl on your arm. Now Woodward Sports and Les Stanford want to reward you for outkicking your coverage.
I am ugly as by traditional standards.
That's right. If your significant other's hotter than you could win tickets to the Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit. So find the best pic of her with the average-looking you and post it on X or Instagram.
You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. You ugly.
Make sure you tag at Woodward Sports and follow us Twitter. We'll announce the winner November 25th. Then you and your much better-looking lady will get tickets to watch Dan Campbell and the Kneecappers.
We're going to buy the kneecap off.
Inside a Ford Field on Thanksgiving. So find the best pic of her and the worst pic of you. And show us all how you outkicked your coverage.
Mama said you ugly. Hey.
From Woodward Sports and Les Stanford. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Feel your fandom, man. All Detroit sports fandom, especially that Detroit Lions fandom. With the perfect cup, and become a subscriber of Sabbath Coffee Roasters. Whether you're gearing up for a big game or savoring a quiet morning, Sabbath Coffee Roasters has you covered with fresh, locally roasted coffee delivered right to your door. So they're treating you right. All you got to do is head to www.sabbathcoffeeroasters.com. Make sure that you're using code Woodward to get 25% off your first subscription order. Awake and unwind. Support local and enjoy game day right with Sabbath Coffee Roasters.
Get pumped up for game day, and then go play some bets at Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports. Scan that QR code on screen. Use code word Woodward1000. You can deposit up to $1,000, and all you have to do is place a minimum of a $20 bet. If it doesn't hit, you know what? They will put it right back into your account with no questions asked. The official sportsbook of us here at Woodward Sports is Caesars Sportsbook. Use code word Woodward1000. You know what? Make some money on game day.
Make some money, honey. Hey, what up, though? Welcome back to this Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys kicking off your day with the WUW Crew. We've talked about University of Michigan. We're now getting into Detroit Lions. Well, we've been in it, but now we're going to get into the Detroit Lions offense versus the Indianapolis Colts defense. And this is one where I'm expecting Jared Goff to really have no problems. No qualms. I know that the last couple weeks there's been, or 3 or 4 weeks, there's been this aspect of teams trying new things, disguising new things. But this is a week where I expect the Detroit Lions to push the tempo, push the agenda, and force Indianapolis Colts to continue to make adjustments to what they're doing.
Yeah, and there are a couple trends that don't bode well for the Colts. I'll just say that. They have a bottom 5 run defense in the NFL.
Oh.
If you're going to be bad at something, you don't want it to be the run defense. And I'm not even trying to sound like I'm being condescending to them. It's just the reality.
It's Jahmyr Gibbs
just
and
the reality.
Montgomery. It's this offensive line.
I have no worries whatsoever that the Lions, I think they're getting at least 150 on the ground. I think that's a mortal lock. Whatever you have for your overs for total rushing yards, you should smash those for the Colts, for the Lions this weekend. But they also have, in terms of passing yards allowed per game, which will help Jared Goff, the 7th worst. And that's the thing. The Colts defense, they have some talented players. DeForest Buckner's really good.
Yep.
Former Wolverine Kwity Paye, I like him.
Grover Stewart.
They've got good pieces on the D-line. Latu, Zaire Franklin leads the whole bleeping NFL in tackles. They have a their nickel corner. I think it's Kenny Moore.
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
good.
He's
Yeah.
good, but they just haven't put it together. And when you have a defense that can't stop the run and they can't stop the pass, you're going against the Lions. Good luck.
And that's where these teams, I don't know what their game plan is going to be, but obviously that defensive line has some pieces where they can be a little bit aggressive, and we've seen the Lions expose that. And that's the thing, like, what do you do? That's what you're saying. You say pray, because they have some really, really good route runners. They have some really, really good pass catchers. They have some really, really, really good specialty players like Jamison Williams, who will take the top off your entire defense. And then they have running backs. So once you believe you have everybody covered up, you have to deal with Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yep.
And your linebackers can't do a daggone thing with them at all. Not at all. Your safeties, they're not on the same weight level as them. I don't care about the size. We've seen him body bag safeties already once he gets back there into the secondary. And that's where all Jared Goff has to be is the guy that we've seen play the clean football. I don't think that we're going to need any aspect of hero ball out of Jared Goff. It's going to be more of what we've seen this offense do, especially the last few weeks. Be precise. The Houston Texans game was standing, but be precise, be to the point. I want to see kind of pissed off Jared Goff. Like last week when he was absolutely going ham and still was on a bench, like thinking about the week before. That's the type of team that I want to see in the type of performance. And you're right, man. This squad has so many ways that they can beat any defense in the league. And then in the Colts, they're coming in with a defense that is just begging to be pounded by the Lions.
They are.
Pause.
Begging to be pounded.
Nope.
And
You're like, nope.
And as somebody who admittedly hasn't watched every Colts game, sue me, it doesn't make sense why their defense is so bad, because they
bad coaching. That's why.
I mean, that's the only logical conclusion. They've got talent. I mean, not really in terms of like safeties and outside corners, but everywhere else they've got talent, and they just have not put it together, and they haven't faced an offense as good as the Lions' offense. So it's the reality is, especially why I said if you're a bad run defense, you're basically effed. The Lions, even in the Texans game where they started off really slow, even in the Texans game, they've ran the ball at least ranging from effectively to phenomenally in every single game this season. Even when the Lions face good run defenses, Jahmyr Gibbs has murdered them. I mean, well, okay, Jahmyr Gibbs didn't murder the Texans, but when they needed some runs at the end, he gave you them.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter he did.
He did. And he murdered the Vikings from start to finish. Those are the only two like really good run defenses the Lions have faced, and they didn't have trouble going up against them, the Vikings and the Texans. They're going to have no trouble going up against the Colts' bottom 5 run defense. Bottom 5.
Man, I love our chat family. Y'all got me cracking up. John Henry said, pound it and be efficient in the pass game. That's it. Let me see. There was a couple more here. Randall Smalls, $2 super chat. He said, this week it's going to be the Fumble-Rooski.
The Fumble-Rooski.
So much.
Super Bowl Carter said, yeah, man, the Colts are looking submissive and breedable. I guess that was to the pounded comments.
Yes.
Jesus
Nick
Christ.
Hedison, Woodward Sports
Y'all some sickos.
needs to make a take the DT.
Oh, Lord.
The Fumble-Rooski.
I'll start working on it.
I'm not wearing that t-shirt.
Come on. I'll get it for you guys for Christmas.
Nah, I'm good.
Can you
Everybody
imagine
I'm
wearing
straight.
a t-shirt around that says
Everybody
take
gets to
the
take
D?
the
No, I'm good on that. I'll take a civilian 16 hoodie though, because that thing is clean.
fire,
hey,
dog.
get on Woodward Sports merch. Click that merch tab, man. We telling you, but
It doesn't take long for us to come up with for that comment to be made, and then it's in our merch shop already.
Yeah.
You know
Beautiful.
what? I love what Just the Fans say here too. We are now in the dog days of football. Every team has injuries. Only the dogs survive, and Lions are dogs.
Don't you love it too? I mean, you don't love injuries. You hate injuries. The Lions have gone up against some teams who were missing some of their best players. Yeah. However, the Lions have been missing Aiden bleeping Hutchinson.
Yeah. I'm not crying for nobody.
Nobody.
We just signed Davenport.
Yeah.
And then
out for the season.
Out for the
Derek
season.
Barnes
Both for
out
your
for the season.
starting
Mosley,
edge rushers.
Iffy. What do you like?
Alex Anzalone out for the regular season.
I'm not-
If he hasn't played it down.
Yeah, like that's
Yes.
where I'm just like, okay. Like
It's-
I'm sorry that people are getting hurt. You don't want to see people get hurt, whether it's on your team or not. But I'm not gonna feel bad for those teams because it is football. And you want to talk about devastation? Aiden Hutchinson his injury was supposed to sink this defense.
Yeah.
Think about that. So I'm not crying for anybody out there, man.
Yep.
At all. Before we move on to the final score predictions, and let's get those offensive either X factors or MVPs for this game. For me, I expect the running backs to go off, but this is one where I believe it's just going to be one of those Jared Goff efficient masterclass games. I really do. And I'm expecting him to go out there and put up one of those, maybe 5 incompletions at most, 270, 320 yards. And in this one, I think he's actually going to get a couple touchdowns because he's going to be able to throw open a couple wide receivers.
I like that. I love that. I could see it for sure. If I had to pick an offensive MVP, I'm going to go with Jahmyr Gibbs. Logically, I'm thinking David Montgomery. And this is not a shot at Montgomery. Gibbs is a special talent. The more that I watch him play, the more that he continues to produce, he is a Hall of Fame level talent that will not get denied, especially if he's running behind this offensive line. You cannot stop him. He is special. He is best running back in the NFL loading, and he proves it every single week. Not a shot at D-Mont. Gibbs is just a generational talent, and he keeps working every week.
Yeah, I mean, of course the run game is going to work. When is it happen? You know, but I really think the combination of Amon-Ra St. Brown and J-Mo in this game is going to be what it is. Because say what you want about Jared Goff and him, you know, not necessarily wanting individual awards. I think he's getting fed up with some of these comments out here. We pointed that out on Ermanni and Edwards yesterday. You can kind of tell the way he answers the press.
Him,
you know, I think he's kind of getting tired of not getting credit because he deserves as much credit as anybody does in this offense. So I think he wants that MVP, and I think the Lions offense will continue to allow him to go out there and try to make his case and prove that he's worthy of that. And who is the beneficiaries of that? It is J-Mo. It is Amon-Ra St. Brown. I look for them to have a really good game in this game, and Jared Goff to continue that MVP case.
Terrell Lamar says J-Mo getting some wreck this weekend, for getting some receiving yards this weekend for sure.
They've got weak outside corners. That's actually a good one too. Yep. If you're working backwards, I wouldn't be shocked if J-Mo is a big game.
Yeah, hey, and you know what? Charles McClain, Lions have an advantage in the Colts. Better than tape can prove, and that's the Lions assistant head coach who happened to be on the Colts staff last year, or the Lions assistant head coach who happened to be on the Colts last year. Who was that?
Is that Scotty Montgomery? Scotty Montgomery.
Dante151, $9.99 super chat. Also, I don't know if you guys know who calls offensive. Okay, so he's saying the same thing. Offensive plays for the Colts. Former Lions offensive coordinator Jim Bob Cooter. The Lions defense needs to make the Colts
Jim
offense
Bob.
D-O-J-B-C. Jim Bob Cooter. He's talking about the one, like, the broadcasts, they found reasons to say his name.
Oh, absolutely.
You remember that?
Cooter. Jim Bob Cooter.
Who's your MVP or your X factor for this game on the offensive side?
On the offensive side?
Cooter.
I mean, can I just pick the whole offensive line? I mean,
absolutely.
Because they just, I mean, every day and every game, they just go out and set the tone and just they're maulers. So, I mean, it all starts and ends in the trenches, and there's nobody else like you want in the war with you in those trenches than what the Lions have on their starting 5 offensive linemen.
Chuckle Cheese believes Sam Laporta will have a big game. What about you, JB Smooth? Who's your MVP or X factor?
My MVP on offense, X factor, the civilian number 16.
Hey,
he's going to be a little upset at these comments that he's heard from Mr. Nick Wrong once again. And he's going to go out there, put up 225, 2 touchdowns. Gibbs and Monty can handle the rest.
Let's go. You know what? All that's left now, we got to give our final score predictions. We'll definitely do that in the next segment.
Absolutely. But first, I know what Mark White's final score prediction would be. He'd pick a Lions victory, and so should you. Dream of a new home but feeling the financial pinch? Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Mark White and his team will pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. That's right, I said $5,000. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 or visit them at markwhitesells.com. Again, call Mark White today at 248-290-8242 to make your dreams come true.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
I love Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Crispy Chicken and Pizza has a new limited time offer just in time for this football season. Soroki's is debuting their fresh signature flavored wings. Grab your friends, order a New York style pizza, and add fresh wings for the games this weekend. Try one of their 7 different flavors. Visit their website at sorokis.com.
What up, though, people? Welcome back. It's Wake Up Woodward. We've had a fun day today. Got to breaking down the Bryce Underwood flip to Michigan. We had to talk about the Pistons game. We talked about the Red Wings. They got a big dub. And this goes towards make sure that the line is a little bit more safe.
Yes.
The burners on that seat are turned just a little bit down.
For better or for worse?
One notch.
It came down 1 notch.
Hey, 1 notch. But you know what? When we got into the Lions, their defense, their offense, we believe that it's going to be a field day. Now, got to just kind of get the final score predictions out there.
You know, sometimes I feel like I talk myself in circles with these predictions. I said that it was going to be closer, and then the more I talk, the more I'm like, man, the Lions have a lot of advantages, but I also respect the fact that the Colts have a lot of talent on that roster.
Here you go respecting opponents again.
Hold on, hold on, KG. But you know what's going to sink the Colts? Anthony Richardson sucks, and the Lions' defense is opportunistic. Lions 31, Colts 14.
Well, yeah, there's my score. 31-14. That's I was sitting here deliberating. Is it going to be 31-13 or 31-14? You know what? I'm going to go 31-13 for this game.
I actually like your score better, but I already
one
made
touchdown, a couple field goals rather than a couple touchdowns. I want the defense to just go and body bag the Colts.
Damn, I wish I would have waited. But you know what? It's already documented. I'm not going to change it. I like a touchdown and 2 field goals a lot more.
Hey, let's rock. KG, what up, though?
I got 38-13 forward down the motherfucking field.
I love it.
And that score, how many defensive touchdowns you got in there?
Oh, maybe 1. It's so hard to call defensive touchdowns. I'll say 1. I'll say 1.
Let's rock.
Yeah.
Hey, Cavassier Chase in the building. What up, though, brother?
Take it a little bit further than KG. I'll say 41-9. No touchdowns for the Colts.
Another game under 10 points?
Damn.
Yeah.
Defense, let's go.
No touchdowns allowed. I think we get 5 touchdowns on offense, and then Jake Bates gets a little bit of work in too with 2 field goals.
Fired up, man.
Yep.
JB Smooth, Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth. What up, though?
I ain't going to say 41, but I'm going to get damn close. 38-10.
38-10.
38-10. Keep it simple. You know what? We just get out of here safe once again.
Yeah, and you know what, Final, just to kind of put a bow on this, just the ebbs and flows of the game, how do you see this one just kind of panning out?
How do I see this one panning out? Man, I think Anthony Richardson definitely puts the Colts in harm's way. If I were to make a prediction, I would say that if you want me to get real granular to quote Neil Rule, I think the Colts get the ball first. They kick a field goal. The Lions go down and score a touchdown. On the second Colts drive, Anthony Richardson throws a pick that is returned to deep into Colts territory, and it's off to the races from there. Anthony Richardson puts them behind the 8 ball to where the Colts can't really run because they're so behind, and that will screw them. And I just realized I predicted the Colts kicking a field goal on their first drive, but I also predicted 31-14. Don't make me be consistent. Come on, people.
They'll kick 2 field goals, and then they'll have to go for 2.
Thank you, Chase. Thank you, Chase. For some reason, they'll have to go for 2.
Right. Because they're going to be getting body bagged. They're going to have no choice.
Why not?
Go for as many points as possible.
Yeah.
We'll help. We got your back, bro.
Yeah, but I guess, and I think that's a lot of our sentiments, is that this is such a well-coached defense by Aaron Glenn. This is such a talented defense. They have such a talented secondary that I think this is just a terrible matchup for Anthony Richardson.
Definitely. I think that's probably the key thing there, because I don't have any qualms about our quarterback at all. I don't have any qualms about this offense at all. It's just about what are you going to do effectively to go out there and stop them. And one of the things I think is going to be a sneaky X factor is the special teams. Yeah. They've continued to just show to be elite, in my opinion, and I expect Khalif Raymond to get off a little bit in this game as it relates to the punt return.
Does he take one back?
I've been sitting here thinking and deliberating. If he does, I would up my score a little bit. But I do believe there's going to be one where he gets them close. Okay. That's why I believe it's going to be one where, like you said, the Colts, they have a good scripted first 1 or 2 drives. They're able to get a field goal out of it or a touchdown out of it. And now all the Lions fans are, oh, my God, what's going on? And then all of a sudden, Raymond just puts them in good field goal position. And then, Lions about to score. And then the defense just shuts everything down. It's like that's kind of how I see things playing out to start. And I see Raymond, at least in the first half, playing a big role in the return game.
Yes, and I would love that. I don't think he'll take one back, but it would be nice for maybe like a nice 15 to 20-yard return at some point. Maybe the Colts punter hits a line drive or something, with not a lot of hang time, and Khalif Raymond exploits that. I think we would all agree, and I don't think this is I don't want to speak for you guys, but I think it's a pretty safe bet. If the Colts even want to dream of keeping it close, they got to get Jonathan Taylor going.
Yeah.
The question is, can they?
No.
Will they be behind so early?
Yes.
Anthony Richardson playing from behind, for real.
Yes.
Anthony Richardson playing from behind. That should terrify Colts
That's
fans.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Force them into an absolute passing team by putting your foot on the pedal early. And then there's people who say, why are they doing this? Strategy-wise.
Yeah.
We've seen teams now, our team come back, and we've seen our team also lose 20-point leads, double-digit leads in this NFL.
Yeah.
If you take your foot off the pedal just for a little bit, you give another team that much life, I don't want them to do that. Not this year. We've already gotten our throats pulled out and just thrown out in front of us. I'm not here for that this year. We're supposed to be the squad that does that to other teams. I've always wanted the Lions to be this type of team. Ever since the Saints did it to us, I said, that's what I want to be. I do not care about the narratives. I don't care about what people say about running up the score. You're being paid millions to stop me. If you cannot, I'm being paid millions to run you the frick over. Woo! And that's where I'm at with this Lions team, man. Just go out there, handle your business against this team. This is a team that we expect the Lions to punish. This is a team that I'm hoping they expect to punish. And that's all I got to say about this game.
Yep, and I think I think we put a nice bow on it. We all gave our predictions. All of us have some varying degrees of a blowout, and on the road, that is a heck of an accomplishment. But we got to get to what's trending, because I know people are on pins and needles for that, as you should. But we got to tell you about the watch party, don't we?
Hey, we do. New Holland Brewing Company watch party and the post-game show. Both of them are live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township, and it's a great environment. Honestly, it's really helped to enhance my Lions experience this year, being able to interact with so many different Detroit Lions fans each and every week, including our chat family. It's one of the most unique and probably the best experience if you're not going to be at the game. It's all happening down at Hayes Social. We get things kicked off at the watch party, hosted by the heavyweights, man, the big fellas Spin Mo Racks and Easy, as well as other Woodward sports personalities. You'll always see Chase there, definitely. You'll always see Stick there and others. KG, Flannel showed up, JB, myself, and we want to see you guys there too. Get your reactions live with us, man. Our chat family has been featured right along with our viral reactions. We want you guys in them. And then right after that, the post-game show instant analysis brought to you by Stick and Anton. I'm telling you, it's a show. They break this thing all the way down, and to see where this show has gone from when they first started it to where it is today, I'm glad that it's those guys who get to bring you this post-game show. All of this, though, is brought to you by Tangerine, Space Machine, Charlie, your local long drink, 1800 Tequila, Sabbath Coffee, and Soroki's, all on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Let's go.
You're an ugly guy. That's okay, because you have a hot girl on your arm. Now Woodward Sports and Les Stanford want to reward you for outkicking your coverage.
I am ugly as by traditional standards.
That's right. If your significant other's hotter than you could win tickets to the Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit. So find the best pic of her with the average-looking you and post it on X or Instagram.
You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. You ugly.
Make sure you tag at Woodward Sports and follow us Twitter. We'll announce the winner November 25th. Then you and your much better-looking lady will get tickets to watch Dan Campbell and the Kneecappers.
We're going to buy the kneecap off.
Inside of Ford Field on Thanksgiving. So find the best pic of her and the worst pic of you. And show us all how you outkicked your coverage.
Mama said you ugly. Hey.
from Woodward Sports and Les Stanford.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app online or in club and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. You join him every Tuesday on Big D Energy and every Thursday on Ermanni and Edwards, where he's offering top-notch injury advice. The latest video on Alex Anzalone and his forearm break and the prognosis, what to expect, and he believes we're definitely going to see him this season again and playing like the Alex Anzalone that we all know. So definitely go ahead and check that out. And trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call 248-426-9944.
Absolutely. 1800 Tequila, official tequila of Woodward Sports Lions watch parties and post-game show. Join 1800 Tequila and Woodward Sports every Lions game live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township and celebrate the wins with smooth 1800 Tequila, proud sponsor of your Detroit Lions. 1800 Tequila, the best taste of tequila. Drink responsibly.
What up, though, people? Welcome back. It's Wake Up Woodward, and it's time for everybody's favorite segment. Let's just spark up word to this one, Mr. JB Smooth. It's time for What's Trending.
Let's get it.
And now it's time for the most electrifying segment on the internet. Bum, bum, bum. It's What's Trending with JB. Live on Wake Up Woodward.
I'm happy to announce Woodward Sports' 5-star commit, JB Smooth.
Hey, let's rock! I love it. JB McCarthy.
I appreciate that, KG. But
I got you.
I got some news for you guys, for all my wrestling fans that's going on right now. As you know, Monday Night Raw will be moving to Netflix. And as official of January 1st, WWE Network will be no longer available in a lot of areas.
Damn, getting rid of it.
Yes, they are getting rid of WWE Network on the Peacock streaming service, and all your basically wrestling news from WWE will be on Netflix. Some historic pay-per-views and all the PLEs right now that is going on will all be Netflix.
I gotta ask you guys, how do you guys feel about that, knowing that a couple of events and a couple offerings from Netflix have not been handled the best for viewers?
Hey, the NFL called, so they gonna get their shit together. I don't know if you heard the report, but the NFL checked in on Netflix, so I don't think we'll be having too many more streaming issues going forward. But I mean, ultimately, they're just moving it from Peacock to Netflix. I'm cool with it. I had Peacock. Probably won't have it anymore because that was a big reason why I had it. But going to Netflix is a little more convenient for me. And yeah, man, it should be successful. I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, Netflix is fine. Just don't fuck this up, Netflix. Don't do this again. We already seen what happened with the Tyson fight and a couple other live events. Like, Make sure you're on your shit.
No,
with
when
this one as well.
Goodell make that call, they gonna straighten up. Don't worry about it.
Are the pay-per-views still going to be like separate paid events, or like is that just going to be because you're going to have to like pay for Netflix to continuously watch the shows or watch wrestling?
No, so when you had Peacock, they made everything available to you. It comes with your subscription, so it'll be the same thing with Netflix.
So
you can
Netflix
watch
price might go up.
Yeah. You can watch the newer stuff when it comes out, but they'll also have like the older PPVs from 2023 going back to the 90s. So yeah, they'll have the library available to you as long as you have yours.
Right, but are you going to be like consistently just paying for that Netflix subscription throughout the year, and that supplements the cost of the pay-per-view events, or are you going to be paying for that annual subscription and then also the separate pay-per-view events?
No, you won't have to pay separate. It's included within it, so they'll just make that up, throughout the year with your subscription.
And then a couple months from now, they'll jack up the price.
Exactly. But that does mean Netflix is probably going up another $2 to $3.
We know it's going
be
up.
prepared for it.
And that's fair. We remember what cable prices used to be, $70-$80 still today. Netflix offers a lot, and you're getting $15 a month maybe.
Yeah.
So it's like
shit. It's like 20 now.
20.
Yeah.
Man. They're gonna. Oh my gosh, it's just gonna go up because now they're offering, like you said, NFL. Mm-hmm. They're offering more and more live offerings. That thing might jump.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah. Kool-Aid, I got to come back to you on this one because the Pistons suffered an L yesterday, and they suffered an L to one LaMelo Ball, the same person who drove to the arena in this damn truck.
Goodness.
The mystery. I'm not mad at that, actually.
I'm not mad at him, dog.
That's fire.
Yeah, I can't even lie. LaMelo Ball is a guy who frustrates me as an opponent that I wish was some parts of Detroit Pistons.
That's fair.
Yeah. The mystery machine Hummer, though, that's fly. I can't even lie to you.
Guard next to Kate. Oh, my God.
Man, what?
That's what I dream about.
That game last night, man. Just a reminder that we get shafted in the draft constantly. Constantly.
I just want to D about that. That's it.
I would
have one of those, bro.
I would have been cool with Brandon Miller. Why couldn't we have gotten Brandon Miller? He wasn't a number one pick. It's like,
wasn't he the number 2 pick?
Yeah, I mean, still, but we should have been in that mix, though. Especially, the last 3 or 4 years, we should have been in the top 3 mix.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid, any words? Nothing.
Shout out to LaMelo Ball, man. Jeez. That is fire.
Shout out to
LaMelo said that's fire.
Shout out to LaMelo Ball. But I had to bring some craziness for you guys. I don't think this was a good day for my man to take his daughter out to the beach so she can catch her first wave. But just know, she's okay.
Whoa! Shit.
Boo them kid. Wave said boo them kids.
Damn.
Dang. It was like, wait. Looks like a Stafford.
Wipeout.
Oh my God. Oh.
You guys know like skim milk, like you skim like it's called a skim board, and you like skim. It's called skimming. You skim across the top of the water on that. So.
Yeah.
She should have stayed on land.
Yes.
I don't know why I just hear the Rocket Power theme song. We are riders on a mission.
My daughter's first wave today. Oh my God.
She's all right.
Is she?
Right. We don't know.
Like, I hope she got deep enough.
At least she landed on her feet.
But it looks like awkwardly on her feet.
Yeah, probably.
That's crazy, dog.
It looks like they stand up and it's just above waist deep. And if you tuned into E&E yesterday, Dr. Pierce said that about half of your body weight underwater is about equivalent to half of your body weight. So should alleviate the impact of the fall by about 50% of your body weight.
That's good. That's good, for real. Hope she's all right. Because that wasn't even... Well, yeah, it was kind of reckless. Because don't you swim out and get into the deep waves deeper in, usually?
I guess shout out to the dad for just letting the process play out. Because I would have been running out there like, my baby Layla, like, Layla! I would have been tripping over myself.
Oh, yeah.
Golly.
Told you about getting on that damn surfboard.
I can't be one of the ones, y'all know me. I be calling it out when we see these things. And it's always the friends and family just sitting around still recording like, help him! Help him, dog! His leg is sideways! You just record and ask him, hey, you okay, bro? You okay? And he's like, no. And it's like, oh, man, bro. Put the phone down. Help somebody out. Goodness gracious.
And finally, I will end what's trending with this. They say it all the time, KG. White people shit.
Yeah.
Hold my beer.
All right, four-wheeler.
Whoa.
Okay. What is this?
Oh, no!
shit.
Okay.
Shit.
Oh no! I wasn't ready for that.
That had to hurt. We'll just say that had to hurt.
Yeah. Damn. Man, we're having like out for seasons. Back to back.
He went mudding and it just didn't work out for him, man.
I wish I heard the audio, man. My man checked the camera until you see his fingers come up the end. Like, put the camera down. Your man just got ran over by his own tractor that he was riding. Like, what?
He did it. Like, it's his fault.
Hey, them four-wheelers, they hard to control, man. I crashed into a boat on a four-wheeler before, so
it not get hurt around JB
I didn't get
Smooth.
seriously hurt, but I have crashed a four-wheeler before, so them things ain't the easiest to drive.
How did you
They
crash
were wearing
into
a helmet.
And KG, I wouldn't
it was
just
a
sit
boat.
there and keep filming.
I
like
I would've
JB.
kept
Oh, you know I'm
filming.
doing that for sure.
Just to make sure he was okay, I had to keep filming, you know. Like,
Right.
You remember what happened to you?
Yeah,
Just in case
man.
you get a concussion, you know, like.
They had a helmet on. You know.
Greg Oswald said helmet.
Who
wears
that's
helmets?
it
Isn't
for
that
what's
Neil?
trending, you guys.
I love Flannel. Oh, man. You say that's it, brother?
That's it for what's trending, you guys.
Great
Let's
what's
hop into some
trending,
mailbag.
man. Oh, my gosh. As always, man. As always. It's a couple representations of what the Lions are going to do to the Colts this Sunday, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
You know what? Let's get into this next segment. It's the Feldman Mailbag segment. So get your Feldman Mailbag questions into the chat. We will definitely answer a couple of them, man. Let's roll.
Yeah, we gonna open the phones too.
Hey, you know what? We will open up the phone lines. We'll definitely do that for the Feldman segment. We'll just call this a Feldman. We'll think
It's
of some
still
name for
mailbag.
it.
You can pose
Yeah.
your question, but if you're
There
gonna
you
call
go.
in, just have your question ready.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I got to tell you about Feldman. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has endeavored to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest you. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
Hey, and that number for the call in, 313-552-6322. Once again, that number is 313-552-6322 if you would like to call in during our Feldman Mailbag segment. And hey, I see we got a couple in the chat already, so we'll definitely jump right in. Charles McClain, hashtag Feldman Mailbag. How much of a factor in Bryce's flip was it that Bryce's Belleville teammate and Bryce's best friend flipped to Michigan earlier this week? Was that the final decision in Bryce's flip? And I know when we talked about it, we said that definitely gives Michigan a chance and that we were not going to close the door on it, though we believed it might be unlikely. And I know KG said he had a hunch, or not a hunch, there were some sources behind the scenes that says that Michigan is making a good play for Bryce, but it was still undetermined what decision he would make.
Yeah, I mean, I think that played a factor. I'm just speculating. I think that played a factor. I think the NIL deal they were able to give him. I think the fact that when he went to LSU for a visit, they got boat raced by Alabama and their fans were throwing stuff on the field, kind of acted like degenerates. They don't do that at Michigan. So come join the Wolverines.
Come join the Wolverines. I like that, man.
Yeah.
I like that. Let me see here. Mitten Maid. Man, how many games into the season are you? 17 games into the season. A little bit over 22% of the season gone. Mitten Maid, do you see Duran traded at the deadline? He looks lost on defense and costs us some games.
No, not at the deadline. And not even just being realistic at this point.
He's on a rookie contract.
Yeah.
Even though he is contract extension eligible starting this coming off season, he also has another season after that. Right now, he's one of those players where Cade Cunningham proved or was warranted to get the early extension contract. Jalen Duran obviously is going to have to do a little bit more to earn that. Because at this stage, a lot more. At this stage, it's not going to be the contract that he's probably deserving of, or that he believes he's deserving of.
Yeah.
So, I don't see him traded this year, but I will say this. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a particular type of a package that they thought they could put together. Because right now, they just have some vets that I believe are probably going to be your top assets.
Mm-hmm.
But when you talk about pairing that up with a potential Jalen Duran, then that's where you could move the needle a little. But at this point in time, I believe that Jalen Duran's best value is to the Detroit Pistons.
At this time, I agree.
Yep, definitely. Let me see here. Feldman Mailbag. Where's it at? Yeah, Feldman Mailbag. Chase, what do you think of that wonderful presentation from Michigan?
Well, presentation, like the fact that they got Bryce Underwood, or
I'm going to assume Bryce Underwood.
I
It
mean,
was the
like,
Charlton State win, guys. Come on. I'm kidding. Go ahead. Go ahead, Chase.
I mean, like, good for them. He's the number one player in the country. You got to go out in the field and produce. Hugh Freeze got the number one recruits to Ole Miss, and they fell flat on their face. So, you got to – the X's and O's got to be there.
Hey, there we go. Dante151, Feldman Mailbag, Aaron Rodgers rumors. Jets tiptoeing around the fact star QB is not good anymore via Bleacher Report. Now, wait a minute, Sam. I thought you said the Jets are going to the playoffs.
I was wrong. You can clown me for that all you want.
He's like, yeah, my man's like, I'm not defending Aaron Rodgers.
No.
Not at all, dog.
It's been a disaster.
It's been a disaster. All right, let me see here. There was a couple more that I saw in here. Feldman Mailbag from Mason Leach. Michigan has the number one QB in Bryce Underwood. Ohio State has the number 2 QB in Tevion St. Clair. Both are from their own respective home states. Will they go down as the best rival QBs? I mean, obviously, the story is being written for that to be the case, but this is where the production on the field and how these coaches, how they handle both of them. Because what position realistically has Ryan Day put Ohio State quarterbacks in as it relates to this rivalry?
I mean, quarterbacks, wide receivers.
Right.
Yeah.
So
that's a tough one. It certainly sets up for a really exciting couple of years, though. Hopefully some good matchups. Although right now, Ohio State seems like the program that is more equipped to win now and in the immediate future.
Bro, I just want Michigan to find some way to get Ryan Day fired.
That would be great.
That would be amazing.
If they beat him, and Ohio State's got some O-line injuries. Not wishing for that. It's just if there's ever a day
You're
where
a changed man, right?
I'm a changed man, but I would say line up Mason Graham up against the backup center. I'll just say that. KG?
No, I was trying to get Kool-Aid's attention, but we have a special guest on the phone line.
Oh, is he ready?
Yes.
All right, let's rock. I know it's one of our chat family members, like our close family, our inner circle. Huh?
Yes, sir. I've called him one of the great callers of our time. It is Mr. Freddie Felt. What up, though? You won't wake up, Woodward, bro. What's good with you?
What up, though? Michigan fans, how we feeling this morning?
I'm feeling the best shade of blue.
How we feeling? Hey, SEC, I was told we're Auburn. Are we joining the SEC now? Is Bryce joining the SEC now because we're Auburn?
Give me fired
Come on, man. Hey, everybody. Neil led the charge on this. El Presidente led the charge on this year. He's just sitting on the treadmill, just pumping the speed up to 5, 6, 7, 8. Just pumping the speed up, pumping the incline up this morning. Just, ooh, how can I pivot this? Oh, they're still Auburn. Enjoy them being Auburn for 2 games. Enjoy them being 500 for 2 games, because then you get to go crawl under your rock again for the next 4 years when we got roses in our teeth and natties hoisted up in the air.
You damn right. You damn right.
Freddie Felt, man, you talk about, as you called him, one of the best callers of our day. That gets me fired up. And I was still going to be open to, all right, show me what you can do, show them more for this next season. But you get me this already. Now it's like, hey, go out there and have a day. You cannot fail this program from this point forward.
Nope, and I don't think he will.
Hey, and also, shout out to KG. Shout out to everybody on WU. Shout out to every single person. You guys kill it every morning. You guys bust your ass to make this the best sports show in all of Detroit. But I got to give credit, too, specifically to KG, because KG said this from day one. When things started to sputter out, KG has said this over and over. It's been our mantra, us Michigan fans. This all changes. This all goes away after one season.
Trying to tell them.
And you will see it. And you will see it change. One game from now, after Ohio State, we go to the Duke Mayo Bowl or the Blockbuster Video Bowl. The Blockbuster ain't even a store anymore. All that goes away. Come fall, you think we're annoying right now? You're really gonna think we're annoying come fall. Next year, the natties are coming. Next year, the hate goes away. Go back under your rock. Go root. Hey, if Michigan is Auburn, is Michigan State Macomb Community College? I'm just asking.
Yes.
Hey, I love you, JD. Hey, JD, I love you, man.
I love you too, man.
Freddie, listen, the whole time you were talking, Flannel just had one of the biggest smiles on his face ever for Michigan football.
I couldn't have said it
shout
better
out Sam Reynolds.
Hey.
Shout out Flannel, man. Hey, one last thing before I go. I don't want Neil getting mad and kicking out of the studio because we're us Michigan fans. He's going to get big Wolverine energy, 11-1. I just got to say, I will be in the end zone at Lucas Oil Stadium Sunday. I will be representing. Look for the big dude with the Beverly Hills cop jacket and the Sonic beanie on.
Hey.
You'll see me in the end zone representing. Lions dropping at least 40 on the Colts. This is a trap game Sunday? Come on.
Let's
40 points at least. Oh, I got you. You'll be seeing it all day Sunday. I'll be tailgating. I'll have everything for you guys. But love you, Woodward Sports. Go Blue.
Go
Blue, Freddie. Love you, man.
Love
you the
you,
man.
brother. Heck of a call, man. Thank you for calling in, Freddie Felt. Do we have anybody else on the line?
Nah, we good.
Yeah, we got, let me see here. You know what? We'll end on this one. Yashawn Judah, Feldman Mailbag. Should the Pistons be buyers at the trade deadline to add more talent?
Absolutely.
I don't know how they can buy, but if you find a way to buy on a deal, then definitely. And they've been able to do that. It's not going to be really the high-priced star player unless you are ready to part with a couple vets and a couple young players.
I think the couple vets are going to play a factor in a deal, though. I think when you brought some of these veterans in, it was under the guys that, okay, if they can come in here and play well, we can have assets to trade around
NBA
trade
economics.
deadline time. So I don't think it's the biggest. I don't think it's the biggest thing in the world. I think it's very possible that we could see some moves made at the deadline, maybe multiple.
Hey, yeah, exactly. And that is NBA economics. That's what we said, that there are going to have to be decisions made on Duren and Jaden Ivey soon. There are going to be decisions made on these vets. You bring them in for that purpose. They can help your young team right now. And if they do get, if they prove that these are players that can be here for the long term, like Beasley's a player that I'm like, maybe you can get something good for him, but he's also a player that I'm like, you have to also build a good squad as well.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see what they do as they get closer and closer to the trade deadline. And they allow us to have these types of conversations because they're 7-10 to start the season. We all believe that they should be over 500 right now. They've cost themselves some games, and they're still in playoff positioning with over 20% of the season gone. So they give us the opportunity to be able to talk in these manners. Should they be buyers or sellers? And I believe, to put it more succinctly, that we see them potentially make some deals similar to what the Tigers did at the trade deadline, where initially people are like, what is this? But when you see that it adds more rotation-level players to the talent that we have, you look at Malik Beasley is a plus rotation level player. If they find a way to get plus rotation level players or just rotation level guys, I don't think people understand how lacking we've been the last few years in that department.
Oh, shoot. Like,
or maybe
preaching to the choir. Yeah, I mean, we do. Yeah. You do. I mean, we do. But, some people kind of put their head in the sand.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out to the legend. T. Foss in the building just walked in. I know he is on with Big D Energy today, huh?
Yes, he is.
Hey, shout out to the legend. Brett Middleton, $2 super chat. Before the show ends, can Sam admit that Jameis is electric?
Absolutely not. I can't stand Jameis Winston.
What?
You know
I
what?
love Jameis Winston.
You know what we should do? We should change our Woodward Sports logo to have a picture of Jameis Winston for all that we glaze him on our social media. He stinks. He's awful. Nice win last night, for real. He stinks.
The man is ordained, bro. He's ordained. I said this yesterday. He got that same energy that Tim Tebow got,
we
man.
We talking about master motivators on the show, right?
When he's a man of God, bro, sometimes you just gotta let it rock, bro.
Man,
the horses were prepared for battle, and the Lord said, "Let there be victory."
Who says that?
You know what I'm gonna do?
He's ordained, man.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna bring in W pancakes for all of you guys. And I'm gonna make sure that Flannel has the biggest stats.
Let's just
need a W, boy.
Let's just make it Woodward Jameis now. How about that?
Woodward Jameis.
Woodward Jameis.
Woodward Winston.
It really is
Woodward crab
insane
legs.
how much we glaze Jameis Winston on our timeline. I see him on our timeline more than Kate Cunningham at this point.
Flannel, just know I'm with you with the whole Jameis Winston thing. Like,
JB?
I don't care for him. He's weird. I'm sorry.
Y'all stop hating on Jameis, man. He ain't did nothing to y'all.
He's weird.
He was a bust. He was a bust.
He's a man of faith.
Bust.
His faith carries him on the field.
Chase is just sitting there like
I love Jameis.
watching the show.
I love
Jameis too.
Yeah,
I think he's hilarious. I think he only has good things said about him by other people in the league. So crab legs for the win, man. Shout out to Jameis Winston.
Woodward crab legs.
Shout out to our sales guys too, man. I see Brady and Chris. Not Brady. It's been a show, man.
That's the precursor to get your shit and get out. With Brady and Chris come here.
That is a J. Word to KG right there. That's buckets, man. This has been a show. Shout out to our brother Matthew Broder. He holds it down and crushes it on Woodward and Man with the legend T. Falls, who's in the building for Big E Energy. Shout out to our guy that do Justin for everything he does for the show as well. Cavassier Chase. We also got Chase GPT today. What's going on, buddy?
What up, though? Hope you guys are having a good day. Enjoy your weekend, rolling in. Keep us stay tapped in throughout the Friday shows. Got to say a special shout out and thank you to not only JB, but my roommate Harlan. Got a flat tire. These guys have been hooking me up. JB dropped me off at my place yesterday after the show. My roommate's been dropping me off in the morning. So got to say special thank you to those guys picking me up and helping me out while I've been a little bit down on a tire right now. So
hey, that's what's up, man. It's
Yes,
always
sir.
good to have good people around you. Man, I'm supposed to have it ready and I don't today. But the Elite Booth, man. In the sound booth, we got Detroit's #1 draft pick, KG, a.k.a. Black Hollywood. What up, though, bro?
I'm not gonna lie, I expect better out of you, man. I'm just gonna be real about it. But hey,
just
shout out.
Jameis Winston me.
Hey, yeah. Shout out to everybody, man. You know we love you in the chat, man. We come in here and we do this for y'all. We appreciate the support. Even you, Phil. Shout out to my boy Phil, man. I saw what you said yesterday. You all right with me, man. But shout out to the team, man. We did it again. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, we got it. We got it. What's up with it?
Go Blue.
Go Blue, baby. Let's go.
Bryce, man, Woodward Sports MVP in the TD booth over there just beaming with excitement for this announcement of Bryce Underwood to Michigan.
Stop hating.
Bulldog residence party. JB Smooth, our MVP.
This is just sad. Just sad. I'm just saying, hey, make a bowl game. Do something this year. Don't sit here and just waste the rest of the season that you got right now. And, you know, like I always said, shout out to Ryan Ermanni. Throw some gravy on it. Just throw some gravy on it. It'll be all right.
Randall Smalls, great show, guys. Brothers have brothers' backs, man. I love that. TJ Waymo, great show, boys. Go Lions. We always love and appreciate the support. We need it. Definitely go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't done so already. The vet of the squad, the vet of the network, that's Flannel Sam. The more things change, the more he stays the same. Our Red Wings correspondent, all sports knower, and Michigan lover.
Bryce Underwood is here. He's here. I just got a call from the We're Back hotline.
Hey,
because we're back.
We back.
It's my love going bang, bang, bang.
I love that drop.
Bang, bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang.
I love it, boy.
Big musket. Big musket.
There will be no musket today. It's Bryce Underwood Day.
Let's go.
Going bang, bang.
This is Sherwood Moore crying on the sideline again. You guys are just eating it up.
It's your boy Brandon Dick. I will. AKA Detroit Kool-Aid, your credential Pistons reporter, writer for the network. It's been a show. That's Wake Up Woodward, and we appreciate you guys for being here. Have a great day, and be right back here for Big D Energy, man. Let's go.